fellow investigators, and welcome to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Tom Rayleigh. It's time for another one-shot from Reckoning of the Dead. Our scenario is entitled The Hitchhiker. It was written by Noah Lloyd and Matt Bryan. I'm your game master, and this is the third version of this game. Let's have our players introduce themselves and their characters. Mike?
Hi, I'm Mike. I'm playing Heather Holland.
Hi, I'm John D. I'll be playing Brian Holland, a 16-year-old middle child.
I'm Orrin Meyer. I'll be playing Matt Holland, one of the Fantastic Twins.
And I'm Nimrod. I'll be playing Mark, the other Fantastic Twin.
Good. All right, so without any further delay, let's continue our journey into the darkness. The date is Friday the 20th of May, 1983. Technically, you live in Douglas County on the far edge of the city of Lawrence, Kansas, but it really takes about 30 minutes to get into the city proper. Your aging farm is completely surrounded by lush green wheat fields as far as the eye can see, all of it about 4 feet tall. It's almost 6 o'clock in the evening, time for dinner. Your mother is busy in the kitchen. Your father is not yet home from work. Your granny Matilda is sitting in her wheelchair at the end of the table. There's a small stream of saliva dribbling from her left side, the left side of her mouth. Granny had a stroke last year and has limited feelings in her left side. She can move her right side a little, but she needs to be helped with just about everything. What are you kids up to?
I'm probably setting the table. Setting the table, I noticed the drill on. Wipe it off Granny's chin. There you go, Granny.
We're probably coming in from playing outside or something, I'd probably guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you got home from school a little while ago.
Yeah.
Oh, is it time for dinner already? we were having getting a nice game of ball out there.
Yeah.
Your mother says, yeah, you kids clean up. Somebody set the table.
All right, sure thing.
Yeah, we quickly run up the stairs to avoid setting the table.
Yeah, as fast as possible.
I'll kind of groan and be like, all right, I'll take the responsibility and help set the table and get everything ready.
All right. Heather, what are you doing?
Helping with the table. Setting.
Okay. Heather and Mark, Heather and, what happened? Did we lose somebody? No, we didn't. Something came up on my screen though. Oh, I know what. I don't have my chat window open. It's obscuring my view. All right, now I'm fine. Brian, you and Heather do a spot hidden roll.
All right. Ooh, I got 65, and that probably is not
Say, Brian?
a pass.
Yeah, Brian.
Hey, I failed.
I got a 96.
Okay. Well, you're both down there watching your mom, and she seems a little less cheery than she normally is. Your father usually shows up right about 6. It's still a few minutes before 6, so he's not late, but she keeps looking out the window, kind of nervously waiting for him to get home, like something's bothering her.
I'll go up and I'll be like, hey, Ma, is everything all right?
I'm just worried. I want your father to get home.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I'm like, what
What's
is
the weather outside like?
It's warm. It's a nice late May evening. Slight wind, clear skies.
All right.
Nice,
I thought maybe she was worried because it might be storming or something.
No. But you notice that she, as she says that, she glances over at the newspaper that's sitting on the end of the counter.
I'm gonna like kind of inconspicuously work my way over and glance at see what she might be looking at.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take a look if I can.
There's a news article on the front page of the local newspaper.
Quintuple homicide. Residents of Douglas County were shocked this morning to learn a gruesome quintuple homicide near Lawrence. Pleasantville residents Kenneth and Faith Grant and their 3 children, Tommy, age 10, Mary Lou, age 7, and 3-month-old baby Christy, were tied up, brutalized, and murdered in what is believed to be a gang of escaped convicts. The perpetrators of this heinous crime are still at large. Residents and their neighbors are cautioned to be wary of any groups of suspicious-looking men. Like, oh man, hey, do you think we should be worried?
Well, you can see that your mom's a little worried. You know that the Grant family in Pleasantville, I mean, you didn't know them personally, but Pleasantville's just like 7 or 8 miles down the road.
Right. I mean, that's pretty close.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we should keep our eye out, Heather.
There's also a penitentiary not that far away.
Yeah, 11.
Do you? Yeah. I mean, you don't really think that they escaped, did you? I mean, from the penitentiary?
Gee, I hope not.
I mean, what is this? One of those movies?
Twilight.
One of those crime movies?
I probably come down by this time point after washing my hands.
Yeah, I think I peeked to see if the table is set already before I get down.
Yeah, it's set.
Coast is clear.
After a few minutes of standing there, you see, the lights from the headlights of your car sort of flash across the front of the house, and you see your mother give a sigh of relief. Oh, thank God! Like this.
And I'll just look to Heather and smile. I'm like, oh, I think Dad's home.
And she's like, "Okay, kids, let's get ready for dinner. Did everybody wash up?"
Yep.
I did.
See? Hands are clean.
I'm like, Mark, you down here yet? It's dinner time.
Coming. I'll run down.
The door opens, same way that it always does, and your father steps in, knocks the dust off of his boots as he steps inside, and someone else. There's a man who is right behind your father. Your father steps in and opens. He holds the door, and this fellow looks like he's maybe in his late 30s, early 40s, dressed in somewhat rumpled clothing, steps in beside him. Your mother has a strange look on her face, like, what the hell? Your father is not like the kind of person who just invites strangers in, but in this case, he says, "I'm home. Is dinner ready?" Your mom's like, yes, it's ready. Who is this? And he says, "Oh, this is a fellow. He was stranded," he said, "walking along the road. I figured I'd pick him up and bring him back here for a bit." And the guy just sort of stands there. And your father says, "Well, let's get everything going here."
Yeah, I'll just be kind of eyeing him a little, try not to stare, but kind of like look at him and look at my father and look back at him, and look to Matt and Mark and Heather. Like it's a little unsettled.
The guy doesn't look pleasant in any way. I mean, he doesn't really look unpleasant. He just looks kind of like he's been, I don't know, beaten down by life, if you will. Your father motions for the man to take a seat, and he sets a couple of spots away from Grandma Matilda. You all take your spots. Dad moves to the head of the table, and Mom sits next to him. And dinner is served. You're having spaghetti. Your father just eats. Your mother keeps giving him dirty glances, like, "Who is this?" Well, you know, but she doesn't raise her voice. She doesn't say anything. It would be impolite to say something like that in front of a guest. What do you guys do?
Is it typical for Dad just to sit there and eat, or does he usually?
He's not a big conversationalist. No.
Okay.
I'm just watching the guy. Curious.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, I think I'm just, I'm probably hungry, so I'm eating, but I'm at the same time, I'm definitely trying not to act like I'm staring, but I am watching him a little bit with a curious eye, a suspicious eye.
Okay.
I am definitely eyeing him up and down because, that's how I am.
Right.
And I'm kind of, looking at my brother. We're sharing secret glances and, taking a look at his clothes, seeing, what we can pick out.
Now, Mark, do a spot hidden roll.
Okay. That's 41, which is pass. Normal
Okay.
pass.
You notice Grandma, if she can have a concerned look on the right side of her face, she's looking over at the stranger, and she's looking at the rest of you, and she's looking at the stranger, and you see her right hand is tapping nervously on the table. One of you is probably helping feed her.
That's probably me.
Yeah. And but she obviously disapproves of the stranger in your house. Your mother looks definitely upset, but she continues to eat. It's rather blatantly silent, as you're all sitting there. More so than usual. What would you guys like to do?
Hey, Pa, me and Matt and Mark were throwing the ball around earlier, and they're getting pretty good at their overhand.
Your father just continues to eat the spaghetti.
We were hoping maybe, some Saturday or something we could all, get together around out back and play a game or something.
His eyes sort of come up and look at you for a moment, and then he just goes back to eating his meal.
Just kind of look at, Matt and Mark with a little bit of a concerned look and go back to trying to, appease the awkward silence.
I'm showing like, spaghetti's good, Ma.
Wow.
Yeah, very.
Break the.
Good.
Well, I look directly at the stranger and go, "So what's your name, sir?" "I'm Matt."
There's a moment of awkwardness as he looks up at you, and he says in a rather kind of low, quiet voice, he says, "Chuck."
"Nice to meet you, Chuck."
And your father says, "Don't bother the man. Leave him alone." Your mother says, she sort of gives him a glance, and she says, "So, Chuck, where were you coming from?" And your father turns and says, "I said leave the man alone. He's had a hard life." And your mom looks pissed.
Well, I don't need to be told twice by Dad, and especially if Dad says that to Mom, I'm just like, okay.
Yep.
All
But
of
that
you
makes me
do-
even more curious.
All of you do a spot hidden.
All right.
Hey, this time I got a
56,
69.
I failed again.
Yeah, instead of a 96, I got a 69 this time. Both fails.
All
I didn't
right.
make it look
Failed.
Anybody
I had-
pass?
Some other
I had a
guys.
hard success.
Nice.
Okay. Anybody else get a hard or just regular?
That's
I
right.
got nothing. I
Okay.
got 56.
Matt, you're looking at the
And
man,
25.
and there's something you didn't notice before. You're looking too much at the man. You're looking at who is this guy and the way he's dressed and everything. And it takes you a moment to realize that he's barely taken a single bite of food. You're pretty sure you recall him bringing the food to his mouth and then setting it down. And now he's just sort of sitting there quietly staring at the food, not really participating. You can hear the clinking of everybody else's spaghetti forks as they're eating up the food, but this man is just sitting there, and your father is eating through his food pretty quickly, the way he usually does.
All right. I'm going to eat my food, but I'm going to keep an eye on Chuck, because now I'm curious. He's not eating. And Mom's spaghetti is like top notch.
So the meal progresses, and a few moments before you're kind of done, you notice Grandma is making motions like she wants to go to her room. She can't really talk, but she can make noises, and she can move her right hand a little bit. So she's like making motions that she wants to go. She might need to use the restroom or something.
You okay, Granny? You all done? You want to go?
Yeah, should we help you out, Granny?
You need to use the restroom? You just want to go to your room?
Your mother says, take your grandma to her room. She probably wants to rest.
I take her. When we get in the room, and be like, can she write?
Not really. She doesn't have that kind of motor control.
All right.
I assume she has some basic hand signals the whole family, at least by this time, that the family kind of understands.
Like yes or no.
Yeah, but if you kind of get what she's saying, is you just go away and leave her alone for now.
Okay. You feel good, Granny?
Go back and eat. And
You
she's
feel
just
good,
like,
Granny?
just leave me alone.
All right. Just let me know when you need anything. I'll just leave. Come back to the table.
Okay. So you go back to the meal. So your father is finished with his meal, and your father suddenly looks up and he says, our guest is going to spend the night in the guest room. And your mother just fucking gasps. And he's like, you can, go up there and make the bed for him. And she's like, I would like to speak to you in the other room, and she gets up and he looks at her rather annoyed. And then he gets up and says, just a moment. And they go into the other room, and you can't hear all the words, but you can hear your mother being pretty upset. And your father, just in rather even tones, is, I've already said that he's going to stay. I've told him he can stay. He's going to stay the night. He'll leave in the morning.
As I'm hearing this, I'm keeping an eye on Chuck to see how he reacts to this whole conversation.
He still just seems to be sitting there staring down at the table. He barely touched his spaghetti. And Jesus, who can resist spaghetti? It sounds so good.
I know, right? Yeah, I know. It's like, dang. It's like, well, it's Mom's spaghetti. Come on. It's
We've included the
disrespectful.
meat, the sauce.
Yeah, it's disrespectful. I guess I'll look up to Chuck and I'll be like, so, Chuck, are you what do you do for a living? Do you have a craft or a trade or something like that? Kind of awkwardly trying to fill the silence, but also trying to get
He
some info.
his eyes look up at you. They're rather sad-looking eyes. Kind of, I don't know. He doesn't have that sparkle in his eyes that normal people do. You know, he just seems kind of dull and washed out. He doesn't really answer your question, but he sort of grunts a little. "Hmm."
And you said he was very disheveled. I mean, is he just wearing sort of like a common clothing?
Yeah, you know, just
Okay.
like stuff you get in the bargain basement.
Right.
He's not, and it doesn't fit him really well. And he looks like he's a bit, I don't know what you want to say. He's not really emaciated, but
Mm.
if you were to guess, you'd say he probably weighed more at one point, and he's lost a lot of weight because
Okay.
his skin just sort of sags on his body, you know.
Right. So he's not
Um,
necessarily homeless, but he's definitely very poor and not in a very good condition.
Yeah, and you're not exactly in an area of Kansas that
Right.
has, you know, a lot of, you know, it's like maybe a farmhand or something that hasn't had any work in a long time.
Right.
Um, your mother and father come back into the room. Your mother is obviously angry, and she just sort of barks at you kids. She's like, "All right, let's clean up," you know. And your father comes into the room and he sits back down at the table, but he doesn't do anything either. He sits there and watches as you guys pick up the plates and go into the kitchen. And
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm very. Go ahead.
knowing mom's tone and what was said, I don't want that temper coming at me, so I'm picking up my plate and silverware and taking it into the kitchen.
yeah,
Right. Me too. I'm very clearly like very very much not okay with this. And I'm just like, yes, ma'am. And I just, I'm just giving dad a mean look and just taking the stuff away and doing as she says.
and at some point, your father suddenly says, "Is that bedroom made up yet upstairs?" And your mother turns around briskly, with just like daggers in her eyes, and she says, "Well, one of you kids go upstairs and make the bed in the guest room. There are sheets in the closet."
Okay,
Do you
Mom.
want-
Yeah, I'll go up with my brother Mark to do it.
All right.
As I go up the stairs with Mark, I go, all right, we'll have to keep it low key tonight.
Yeah,
Mom's pissed.
If they catch us now, I think we're gonna sleep in the barn or something.
Yeah, we're gonna get more than we want to bargain with. But do you notice he didn't eat any of Mama's spaghetti? Who doesn't eat Mama's spaghetti?
That is weird.
Yeah, we gotta keep an eye on this guy.
Yeah. Well, he can be close. So that's.
Yeah, I think
Great,
we leave.
yeah, but-
If he's gonna stay the night, we need to leave some Legos out near the door.
Oh, that's a classic.
Yeah.
Matt and
Just to-
Mark, do an idea roll.
20, so that's a pass. Can't
Um.
even.
Yep. 56. So that's a success.
Okay. You have had an ongoing little project you've been doing, as you recall. Do you recall any names?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he say his last name?
No.
I think so.
He did say his first name was Chuck. Was that was there anything in those our project that had a C for the first name, like C something, or did he actually say something like Charles or Chuck?
I think Chuck sounds familiar. You probably check the letters.
Yeah, I'll have to go out to the barn.
Well, I can set this up if you want to check it out.
Yeah, all right, I'll go check it out. I'll take the porch exit. And so I go. He takes care of the bed, and I'll do the scoot out our bedroom window, cross the porch, come down, head towards the barn with a flashlight.
All right, so you head out towards the barn. You move across your property like you've done it 1,000 times. You go into the barn. The barn is getting pretty dark on the inside at this point, but you move through the barn as if you could do it with your eyes closed. You probably could. You go up the stairs, up the ladder into the loft, and you find your secret hiding place. And you find the bundle of letters that have gone back and forth. Now, I'm wondering, because of what you're saying to me as a player, if I didn't screw something up. What was the name of the person that you've been corresponding with?
No, to be quite honest, I don't remember.
Oh, you don't remember. I think it was Chuck something.
Okay, so Chuck.
It was, Chuck Malone.
Chuck
All right.
Malone. There you go.
Chuck Malone. And I go, confirmed. All right. So I'm going to keep the letters there because I don't want my, anyone else in the house, but at least I've confirmed it. And I head back to the house, take the secret, do the trellis thing, go back in the room and meet up my brother back at because it probably it's taking him that long just to make that bed.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out which side goes where, like stretching it.
You've done it before, so it's not that hard.
Well, Matt, what was it?
Yeah. First name Chuck. Chuck Malone.
Chuck.
You think this is the guy?
I mean, he's not supposed to be out of the loose.
Yeah. We need to get a handwriting sample. We're going to have to keep an eye on this guy.
All right, so while you're doing that, the phone rings downstairs. Heather, you've kind of been expecting a phone call. So
that might be Rick. Run off to the phone.
You get on the phone, and it is Rick. It is Rick. Hey, babe.
Hey.
You got a problem.
No problem.
How soon do you think you could get ready? I think we might have to make a run for it. I can't find the $500. And the guy's asking, and I got to pay him, or he's going to come looking for us.
Oh no!
I think maybe you should meet me out by the silo, maybe around midnight, and we can just get the hell out of town.
What did you get me into?
It was a good deal. It was a sure thing.
I don't know if I can go. There's a stranger here in the house.
Yeah, but this guy's bad news. I don't know what he could do. He's shit. I'm just thinking of your safety, baby.
Is the phone in another room, or can I like eavesdrop on Heather's side?
You're in the family room.
Okay.
She's in the family room, and she's probably being
Okay.
the way girls are.
But can I make a listen?
Yeah, do a listen roll.
Okay.
Maybe I'll listen to roll. We got to get at least a
ooh.
hard.
I got a 3.
Oh, you got a 3.
I got a
Yeah.
3.
You're standing right on the other side.
Yep. I'm just being that like nosy little
Listening
brother.
to
just-
everything she's saying, but you can't hear what he's saying.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm like, what? What she said? What did she get into?
Anyway.
Oh, come on, Heather.
Anyway, babe, we got to get out of here. I don't know. That guy could come and seek revenge or something on me, or I don't know what he's going to do. I don't have the money. It's completely gone. I have no idea what happened to it. I had it in my truck.
Well, I don't really want to leave.
Well, he's not gonna. Come on, we can go off and get married and live somewhere. I mean, you've got the
No,
drugs. We can sell them somewhere else.
Well, why don't you just give him that instead of what he wants?
He doesn't want the drugs. He wants the money.
Well, why don't you just offload them to somebody? You've still got time.
He's still going to show up. I'm not going to be
But
able
you
to
can
sell
make
those
it
for
back.
that.
You can make it back with, you know, you'll be able to make it back to pay, you know, get him off.
I don't know. I don't know. Well, at least I'll come by around midnight, and I got to pick up the drugs then. But I'm going to have to get out of town. If you don't want to go, fine. But I can't guarantee your safety.
No, I don't really want to go. I can't leave Granny. Why don't you just come out before midnight and pick, you know, it up, and then, you know,
I'm not going to be able to
sell
get
it.
there before midnight. I'll have to sneak out.
Well, just let me know what's going on.
I got to go. Click.
What did he do?
I'll just kind of like nonchalantly like make it look like I wasn't
Thing this weekend.
right there. Sorry.
That's cool. Brian, I'm going to text you something.
Okay.
All right. As soon as the bed is made and everything, your father sort of walks the guy to the room, and he doesn't say much. They don't say much. They don't say anything at all to each other. He walks the guy into the room and points at the bed and then closes the door. It's only about 7:30, and your father is kind of like, all right, nobody disturb him. And your father goes downstairs to smoke a pipe, and I don't know if he reads a book or whatever, but your mom is waiting for him. And she is going to read him the riot act, and she is going to be pointing to that newspaper article, and she's, are you crazy and all this, and he just ignores her. But you can hear them fighting downstairs.
Ooh. I'm going to take this moment while they're distracted, and I'm going to sort of casually to Matt and Mark be like, hey guys, and I'm going to make sure that only the two of them can see my face and be like, I think we might have, did you leave your baseball glove out back? I think I left my glove out back.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
We should go get that real quick.
Yeah.
And I'm going to sort of lead the two of them out back.
Okay.
And once we get on sort of the back porch, we'll be like, guys, I overheard Heather talking with that Rick guy or whatever.
I saw him kissing up in the loft.
Listen, she said something about like something I can only hear her side, but she said something about them leaving and that like they were like they couldn't leave me or us behind and something, and that she was saying that she couldn't, like something about 12 at night or something. Like I don't know what's going on, but she's gotten herself into something with that guy, and she might be making an escape tonight. We got to be on the eye. We got to keep our eyes out on her.
You can
We're
count
on
on
it.
us.
All right, but hey, keep this one down, though, okay, guys? It's just between us.
Not a problem.
All right.
This
And
is
I know
our specialty.
I know I can trust you guys. And I'll give you like our little high five thing that we probably got going on, and then we'll head back inside.
Before you
All
head
right.
back
Yeah.
inside, I'd like you to do an idea roll. You can.
Okay. I think I got a 65, which is definitely a fail.
The twins too.
Oh, okay. That's what I was
Sure.
holding
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, maybe you guys are better at book smarts.
14.
83. So that's failed.
So, yeah, I passed.
All right,
That would explain why I'm more diabolical.
Matt. As you're sitting there talking to your brothers, you're the one that is sort of facing the house. You look up, and you can see the window of the guest room. And as you're looking at the window, you realize that from the loft in the barn, you can see right into that window. And there's also a ridge along the side of the house. You guys have climbed on the roof a lot. You climb up and down all the time. There's actually a way that you could climb right up to that window and along the flat end of the roof and look right in if you wanted to see what the stranger was doing.
Yeah. I go, I'm just thinking, do I want Brian to know or not? Yeah, that's the big question. Or whether this is more of a Mark and Matt thing. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on our sister tonight.
Okay. All right.
Hey, Mark. I think we forgot to take care of something in a barn, and we'll meet you back in the house.
Okay.
Okay.
And we head over there. Hey, Mark. From the loft, we can see right into that stranger's room.
Oh, gee, that's fantastic.
And if you take a look, we could, if we actually using the porch and going on the roof, we can actually look through the window up close.
Oh, that's great. When do you want to go there?
Well, I say we go from the loft first. You still have that broken pair of that broken pair of World War II binoculars.
Yeah, they should be heading there next to the letters, I think.
Yeah, it's too bad. Only one side works, but hey, better than nothing.
There's nothing.
Yeah. We can kind of take a look at right now before the light goes out.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea.
All right, so we
If you want to.
go up and here.
All right. The light in the man's room is not on, but you think that you can still see him sort of standing in there, just with the dim light from the sunset still sort of a little bit in the sky. And he's standing there facing the window, just standing there. He's not
just like
moving.
standing.
He's not moving around the room or anything. He's just standing completely still.
Weird.
I think that you should both do sanity rolls just because it's so creepy.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, it's
Nope.
a 90. Nope.
Yeah. Nope. Shit.
Each of you can take one hit point of damage for a hit point of sanity lost.
All right.
Gee, at first he doesn't eat the spaghetti, and now he's not moving. What's up?
Yeah, he's a freak, man.
You hear a noise downstairs in the barn, and you don't recall seeing your brother go back into the house.
We take a look through some of the cracks in the floorboard. Who's down there?
You see Brian down there, and he's trying to sneak up on you guys. Not very well.
Yeah. I see. Shall we go? Okay. We scurry around.
Yeah.
Head down another part of the barn.
Yeah. Now, when you guys move around, you're creaking wood and everything.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he knows we're moving someplace else, and we go down the RSS of the other ladder.
I'm gonna run out. Now that I think they saw me, I'm gonna run after them.
All right.
Guys, what'd you see?
I go. Shall we tell him?
Yeah, I think he's us.
All right. We wait for him, but making sure we're away from the house still and not.
Yeah, you're
through
still
that
over
one
the
window.
barn.
All right, wait till Brian gets there.
All
That
right.
guy, that's Chuck guy. He's weird.
Yeah,
Like, really weird.
I knew that.
No, I mean he's standing in the room,
Not like sitting.
just standing, and kind of looking out the window, but just standing there. He was standing there for what, 5-10 minutes there, Mark?
Yeah, he's not moving at all.
That's definitely weird. That's like maybe he's like one of those weird religious. I don't know. Maybe he's like one of those weird religious guys. You know, that like do the thing where they don't move because they're like with God or whatever. I don't know. I'm just that's definitely weird though. That's really like, why would you not like sit down or like lay down or something?
Yeah, he's like in the dark also.
Without the lights on?
Yeah. that was really
Yeah.
weird.
That's really weird. I'm okay. So meanwhile, we got Heather off doing her own thing, maybe trying to escape attempt tonight, and then there's this weird guy that Dad brought over, and Dad's acting weird, and Mom's pissed. Ugh.
So, Heather, what are you doing?
First I was going to go looking on Granny, then I was going to go out to the barn. I have something to check on. I want to see if it's still safe.
Actually, you've gotten a little quiet. I couldn't quite hear what you said.
I'm sorry. I said I'm going to go check in on Granny, and then I'm going to go over to the barn to check on something to make sure it's safe.
Okay. You look in on Granny, and she has managed to climb into her bed, which she can do it. She has to struggle with, but she can do it. And when you walk into the door, she jumps, and she looks over at you wide-eyed, and she's just staring at you oddly, like she's afraid of you.
You okay, Granny?
And when you
Go
say
over
that, she
to her.
calms down, and she sort of nods her head a yes, and then sort of makes that same motion for you to you go, and she sort of, you get almost a feeling like she feigns closing her eyes and trying to get some sleep. She's a complicated woman.
All right, I'll leave her alone. I'll just go out to the barn.
Right. So you're going to head on out to the barn.
Mm-hmm.
Do a spot hidden for me.
All right. Ooh, 5. Finally,
Okay.
a pistol.
5. You go onto the covered porch and the screened porch, and you take a couple of steps towards the door going outside, and you look through the screened porch, and you see the twins upstairs in the barn using a binoculars.
That's weird.
And you think you see your other brother sneaking around the barn. So they're out there playing or something.
Can I tell what they're looking at?
Looks like they're looking at the house, or maybe something beyond the house, or
Well, on the way
maybe.
over, I'm gonna glance back and see what he
Well,
can
you would
find.
have to leave if you leave the covered porch, they'll see you.
Okay, I'll just keep going to the barn then.
Okay, well then they'll
No
definitely
light.
see you. If you step out of the door, you're heading right towards them.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh no, there's no other back. There's no back way over there, is
No,
there? I can't go out the back.
you'll have to cross the yard.
Well, I just look at him, then I just shrug and go back in, hoping they'll
Okay, you know that they
shrug.
won't be out there for long.
All right.
So what do you want to do next? You want to go up to your room?
Yeah, I'll go up to my
All right.
room.
You realize as you're going up to your room, go up the stairs. When you get to the top of the stairs, you go by Brian's room first, and then by Matt and Mark's room, and then you've got the stranger's room before you get to your room. And then Mom and Dad's room is beyond that. So you feel uncomfortable walking by the stranger's room, and you don't see any light under the door. But then again, maybe he went to bed.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of listen.
Nothing, no
Nothing
sound
at
at all.
All right, that's weird. What you said it was 7 something? That's
Yeah, 7:30.
It's awfully early for bed. I'm just gonna go to my room and listen to music, I guess. Now, which way does my room point? The windows?
Your room
So,
faces
the entry porch.
your room face. You've got 2 windows. You've got one pointing out to the front of the house and one onto the left side of the house. One room is pointing south. One window points south. The other window points west.
Okay. Can I see the barn from my window?
Yes, the one pointing south. You're looking right at the barn.
Alrighty. Now I'm gonna watch the barn and see if they come out.
Okay. Yeah. After a little bit, you see them sort of gather out in front of the barn, all 3 of them, having a chat. And then I believe they're going to walk back to the house.
Yeah.
Is that correct? All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so you finally see them doing that. They're out there for maybe 15 or 20 minutes.
Now I'm really, really worried. There's something out there I don't want anybody finding. So I'm really gonna worry about it. I'm gonna go out and look. If it's safe, they won't see me coming out.
All right. So let's jump back to the other 3. You guys are walking in the house. Your mother, when you walk in, your mother is nowhere to be seen at that point. You heard them arguing. Your father is still sitting kind of in the family room, but he's not smoking and he's not reading anything. He's just sitting in his big chair. He looks rather stern the way he normally looks. But it's like maybe he's deep in thought or whatever. His eyes are not wide open. You think maybe you can hear your mother rummaging around in other parts of the house doing things, maybe out by the laundry or something. You can hear a faint noise of music from upstairs, which you imagine is your sister's room. And what are you going to do now that you're inside the house? We'll say it's about 8 o'clock at this point.
We're going to have to keep an eye on our sister.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. What, you listen to You Should Hear How She Talks About You by Melissa Manchester? Or something like that? She's always listening to those kind of, she's listening to those, like those, what is it? She's very, teenage girl type stuff, she's all like big woman now. She's big sister. You know, she's with this Rick guy.
Oh,
You know, that kind of music. She's getting all fired up, and you know, whatever. I'm just saying, I'm worried. You know, I'm worried because I mean, if you think she's really gonna try to leave tonight.
well, who knows with her?
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah. She was doing all that smoochy stuff with Rick.
Ugh, I hate that guy. Such a jerk. Wish I could just, you know, go all Conan on him, you know?
Yeah. We're going to have to keep an eye on her, though.
Yeah,
No.
and a more pressing issue, what about this weird guy? He's just standing in the dark. Do you know how weird that is?
It just means it's going to be a late night, right, Mark?
Yep.
But first, we got to check out. I'm going to go check on Mom. We need to know where the other adults are.
Oh, you hear the music upstairs get louder for a couple of seconds, and then you hear Heather walking around. You guess that's who it is, and she appears at the top of the stairs, coming down.
All right. I give a you know, that Mark understands. Who wants to follow her? You or me?
I can follow her.
All right. I'll check on Mom to make sure that, you know, we know where Dad is. Want to make sure we have the coast is clear. So I go upstairs to hunt down where Mom is, if that's where I heard the noise. Or did it sound like
You think it was actually somewhere else in the bottom part of the house?
All right. I'll check around the bottom part of the house.
Okay.
I think I'll loiter around, try and wait for Heather to pass by, and then try and sneakily follow her.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Heather has lived with you her whole life, so she knows your ways. I think that you should do a stealth roll, but you're going to have to get a hard pass, or she's going to turn around and say, "Stop following me."
I think 62 will probably not cut it. No. Not even a success.
Yeah, Heather, you hear him.
I spin around. What are you doing? Stalking me?
No. Just walking around the house. It's my house too, you know.
Yeah, but it looks like you're following me.
I'm not. I'm going to Granny. And I'll start like walking towards Granny's room, which is like not in the same direction at all. Try and like peek at Heather as I'm going.
Look, if you're good, I'll have Rick take you guys out to see The Thing this weekend at the drive-in. That new movie is supposed to be grody.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sure,
So
Heather.
just behave. Don't get up to your
Okay.
shenanigans.
Sure. No shenanigans. Yeah, no problem.
All right.
I'll be good, and I'll like run off.
So, Mark, you have to decide if you'd rather see the movie or rather follow your sister.
I'm really torn.
The real decisions.
Especially The Thing.
I know.
Yeah. I think now that she's seen me, I'm like, well, the movie's a sure thing.
Yeah.
As long as she doesn't leave tonight, I'm going on the movie.
Also, kids at school have been talking about it, and you've kept your ears plugged because you don't want to know.
I think.
All
I'm
right.
kinda like,
So, Matt.
Yeah.
Was Matt? You were going to look for Mom? Was that it?
Yeah.
All right. You find your mom in the back. She's getting stuff ready to I don't know for tomorrow's meals. She's pretty no nonsense at this point, and she's like, "Oh, Matt, what do you want?"
No, just heard some noise down here. I didn't know what was going on.
No,
Just making sure.
your father is going to be the death of me, I swear. Inviting strange people into our home.
Yeah, he is kind of weird, isn't he?
I would not have thought him to He's such a trusting man, but
Yeah,
he
especially a
is
guy
the
that
head of
doesn't eat your.
he's the head of the family, and we have to do what he wants.
Now he is dad, but I still find it strange that a person doesn't eat your spaghetti, Ma.
Well, what are you boys up to?
We were just taking care of some stuff we had left outside. Yeah, taking care of a couple things in the barn. Now we're in the house now. Just we're gonna.
Don't burn anything down.
Nope, not considering how. Don't worry, Mom.
You you kids stay away from that stranger, and I think you should stay away from your dad tonight. He's in a mood.
No problem, Mom.
All right. Did you do your homework?
Yes, Ma.
All right. You tell your brothers to do their homework. Tell your sister.
All right. All right.
Tomorrow is Saturday, so why don't you kids get to bed kind of early, and you can get up early and play all day.
All right. Thanks, Ma. And I head back.
And as you're going out, Mark is coming in, and he finds you like two magnets.
All right. As you can guess, we need to stay away from Mom and Dad today.
Yeah, that's. Look, I kind of lost Heather.
What? How could you lose Heather?
Well, she kind of saw me. I think she was going outside, but and she said we could go see this thing with Rick, which is not as good, but Mom and Dad not gonna take us there.
Yeah, but Brian could take us there. And anyway, she's just fooling you.
You think?
Do you think she'd let us see the thing? She didn't do the bait and switch like she did last time.
Oh, God damn it. Yeah.
Remember we had to watch Bambi again?
Oh, not Bambi. Oh, I hate that movie.
Yeah, we were supposed to see that new one, and she made sure that we didn't see it.
Yeah. God damn it, I have to stop trusting her.
That's why you have me. I remember these things.
It's good you're here, Matt. Jeez.
Anyway.
Where'd you go?
Did you get your homework done, by the way? Ma wants to know if we got our homework done.
Oh, not at all.
I told her that, I had gotten mine done, but I'll cover for you. You can look at mine since we take the same class. Not like Miss Thatcher is going to know my, the difference between our homework anyway.
Now, I'll jumble up a few stuff to make it seem like,
Yeah. Should we tell Brian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder where Heather went to.
Yeah. I have to go find Brian.
Yeah, I've probably just been somewhere like trying to not look like I'm watching the guest room, but I'm just kind of watching the guest room. Very just Sometimes hanging out in the hall, like, oh, what's up? Hey, guys.
Yeah. I said, we're going to go outside. It seems that the objective has been lost.
Oh, all right, let's go.
No. You stay here. Keep an eye on what? You think Mark and I can't take care of this? We know the backyard better than you do.
That's not true. But all right, I guess I'll keep an eye on the stranger. But Chuck or whatever his name is.
Mom wants to make sure you got your homework done.
Yeah, whatever. Whatever.
Oh, and she says stay away from Dad.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's been acting weird. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit.
All right. Shall we search pattern Z, Mark?
Z is a thing.
All right. We go.
Right.
And we.
Heather, if you get to the barn without any trouble, you know right where you're going. I believe that it's also up in the loft for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. the bag quantity of methamphetamines that you have hidden up there are right where they should be.
Good. I rehide it, glance out the window, make sure nobody's around.
Do a spot hidden.
All right. Ooh, 85. I see nothing. I've got
Okay.
chaff in my eyes.
That's because when you look out the window, you are unaware of pattern Z, and they have moved into a way. However, when the boys get to the barn, you're already finished, and you're on your way back down from the loft. And you're walking out the front of the barn. So that's what you guys see. You might think she's got something hidden in there, but you don't know where it is. In fact, you probably all got things hidden in there. You just
True.
What are you two doing sneaking around?
Just playing, you know.
Okay.
What are you doing sneaking around?
I always thought I heard something out in the barn.
You probably, are you planning another secret rendezvous with Rick?
We might meet up later.
Ew.
And he was talking about going to see The Thing this weekend. You guys want to go? John
Yeah, if you
Carpenter.
keep your promise. Remember what you did last time?
Oh, that's, But, yeah, we're going to go to the drive-in.
Yeah, what you're going to do is stuff us in the trunk?
He has a pickup. You can sit in the bed of the truck and watch. We can watch in the cab.
All right. All right. So what do you guys do for the rest of the evening? Bedtime on the weekends probably still about 9:30 for the kids, the youngest ones. And even if it wasn't, you guys get tired by then anyway.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think I want to check and see if the guy's still just standing in the room, if he's moved at all.
Well, from any vantage point, unless you actually climbed up onto the roof, you can't see anything in the room now because it's too dark.
I think I may try and kind of. What do you think, Matt?
You're the daredevil here.
Okay, I think we'll try it.
All right. So you're all back in the house, we'll say.
Right.
Heather's back in her room. Brian, you're in your room. The twins are in their room. And Mark goes out the window and scoots along the ledge onto the flat part of the roof and works his way over to the window. So you are literally right under the window, and you would need to peek your head up.
Try and like peek as little as they can.
All right.
He's not. I'm gonna listen if he's like moving or something before I peek in.
When you stick your head up far enough to be able to see, he's still standing in exactly the same spot. In fact, you don't know how he could have possibly not seen you because he's looking at the window.
I jump back like the second I see him.
Okay. Nothing happens.
Trying to.
But you're sure that he must have seen you.
Like slowly sneak back in, trying not to make a sound.
Okay. You're kind of freaked out too.
Yeah, I run back to Matt like, I think he saw me.
What was he doing?
He's like standing in the exact same place again.
What? What? No one can do that.
I know. That's like, I can't stand still for like 2 minutes. How can you do it for an hour?
Oh my God.
That's just freaky, man. Just freaky.
Yeah, it's just like, one of those horror stories.
Yeah, it was like the crazy guy who's staring into the dark.
Yeah, like Poltergeist.
Yeah. What's up with this guy?
I mean,
So-
between...
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. No, that's okay.
So eventually, you guys are going to have to go to bed unless you want to do otherwise. But you guys are kind of freaked out, but you're also kind of tired.
Mm.
It's probably getting past 9:30. You hear your parents come up the stairs at a certain point and head towards their bedroom.
I'm probably in my room reading comic books or something, but every once in a while I get up, go to the door, kind of peek out, look over at the guest room, peek, go back inside.
You can't actually see the guest room from your room.
Right, so I'd have to like go out in the hallway a little bit.
You have to go past the bathroom, past,
Yeah.
or at least over to where your brother's room is.
Right, kind of
And then you
in the
can see.
hallway. Yeah.
Right.
And then I'll just sort of sneak out there, kind of look, make sure the door's closed, go back in my room, just kind of very suspicious of this guy, but I can't, he's just
There's-
sitting in there.
There's probably a couple of moments when you're doing that, that the floorboards creak enough to where both of your brothers' heads suddenly pop out of their room.
Yeah.
And they don't say anything, but they're watching the same way you are. And Heather, it's past 9:30, so you've either put your headphones on or you've turned the music off.
Put my headphones on.
You can probably catch some Z's before midnight. You can set your alarm.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'll set my alarm and listen for a few minutes. I want to finish this song, and then I'm gonna hit
All
the
right.
sack.
To the other three brothers, nothing happens. Nothing happens for an hour, and you guys are finally getting.
Yeah.
You can't keep your eyes open anymore. So, eventually, you all fall asleep.
All right. Well, before I'm going to sleep,
Okay.
at least in front of our, where you would walk in through the door of
Uh-huh.
our room, but so it wouldn't affect the sweep of the door, so it wouldn't get, because I noticed our door opens inward. I'm scattering a set of Legos.
Now you're doing this outside your door.
I could do that. That would. What do you think,
Well,
Mark?
I'm asking you as far as logistics. If somebody gets up in the middle of the night, you guys are probably all barefoot.
Yeah.
So if they're out in the hallway, it could be your mom, your dad, anybody stepping on them out there.
No. It's going to be in our room because I don't dare put them out there because if it's Dad, it's our head.
Yeah.
Especially, yeah. So I'm just going to do it so that we're at least alert. I go.
Last summer, Dad stepped on a Lego, and you've never heard such expletives
Yes.
come
So
out of your father's.
but we're at least making sure that our room is guarded.
It's guarded.
And I'm going.
Brian, how about you?
What do you think about Heather?
I mean, I think I'm just probably tired enough. I'll just go to bed, and I don't want to risk any traps or anything.
Okay.
But I'm suspicious. But I'm tired, so I got to hit the hay.
And Heather's fallen asleep on her bed with her earphones on, but the music is no longer playing.
Oh, I know what I'll do. I'm going to take some. We have some of our older toys, some of the old squeaky toys,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to scatter some just in front of Heather's door.
Out in the hallway?
Yeah. So that if she steps out of her doorway, yeah, she might not notice and step on them, and we'll hear it. And then I head back, and I go to Mark.
All right. All right. At some point, you're all finally in bed, asleep. Booby traps are set. I would like you to all do power rolls.
19. No, 16. I'm sorry.
Ooh.
16. No,
Ouch.
19.
I just passed.
I got a 63, so that's a fail for me.
Okay.
58, just barely a pass.
Yeah, 56. Yeah. Same
And Heather,
as
pass or fail?
I got 19.
Okay. So Mark and Heather, somewhere in the middle of the night. Obviously not midnight yet because your alarm hasn't gone off. You suddenly hear a scream. Blood-curdling scream coming from, it sounds like down the hall. There's pounding on the ground and there's noise and there's scrambling about and you are completely terrified. Something is happening. You hear the screaming for a few moments and then it's gone. And the silence afterward is more terrifying than the screaming.
Do we recognize the scream as someone we know or not know?
Baby mom?
And I'm still asleep since I failed, right? Or
You're not as alert, so
Okay.
maybe you sort of halfway wake up.
right, I'm sort of in between. Yeah.
Right. You hear more of the pounding than the screaming.
Where do you think it's coming from?
I don't know, but we need to check it out.
I'm grabbing my softball bat, easing out the look.
You can definitely hear that something's gone by you down the hallway to the stairs. Something running.
I'm going to go check on everybody.
No.
Check on the boys, checking on mom and dad.
Yeah, we grab our little league bats.
Okay.
I want the bat because,
What?
the newspaper thing and that stranger.
Heather, you open your door and you take a step out and there is a squeak from something on the floor that makes you gasp and jump.
Squeak!
And when
A
you
rubber
look
chicken.
when you look down at remember the house is dark at this point. When you look down at the ground, you see a couple of these old squeaky toys there, but you also notice there is a dark stain in the carpet in spots going across in front of you. You see that mom and dad's door is open. And by the time you realize what you're seeing, Mark and Brian and Matt are popping their heads out of their doors.
What's going on? Did you hear that pounding?
There's stains on the floor. Can I tell if I put my finger in the sniff, can I tell what it is?
Well, you can turn your light on.
Okay, I'll do that.
It's blood. You can do a sanity roll.
Yes.
All of us or just
definitely.
Heather?
Well, if you guys move down the hall towards her and you see the blood too, the blood is less by your doors, but there is definitely blood on the carpet.
I got a 34 on that one.
I failed.
Oh, 84. That's a fail.
Oh, I passed.
I got 78, and my sanity is only 50.
Okay. I would like you, if you pass, you can take 2 points of sanity damage. If you failed, do a 1d4.
All right.
Failure.
That's 3 for me.
Oh no, I got 4.
You hear a crash downstairs. It sounds like someone is in the kitchen and has knocked over a bunch of stuff on the counter, maybe. You also think that you feel this change in air pressure for a moment as one of the downstairs doors opens and closes.
We gotta get down there and see what the hell's going on. Come on.
Oh, hold it. What about
I'll
mom
lead
and
the way.
dad? This blood.
Heather, you're the closest. You probably in horror turn the corner and walk towards your parents' room.
Yes.
On the floor, just inside the door, there is a body lying there on the ground. You are pretty sure that it's your father, and he has no skin.
Oh gosh.
There is blood everywhere in the bedroom. You can do another sanity roll.
Oh gosh. No skin. Oh, 90.
Oh,
That's
okay,
not
that's
good.
pretty bad. Go ahead and do another 1d. Do a 1d6.
1.
Oh, all those nursing courses you've been taking have really helped in the blood. But you freak out, you scream.
Oh yeah.
Your brothers come up behind you, and they see what you see.
Don't look, don't look, don't look. It's Dad, it's Dad.
We all roll?
Yeah, you can all do sanity rolls.
Oh, boy. That's a 90. That's a
Holy
90.
crap! It's just like biology.
So D6s on fails?
Yeah, 1d6 on fails.
I got a success.
Oh,
How much?
I got a 4.
Okay.
Oh, shit!
Who
Oh,
else?
no!
Who else failed?
I'm just like,
Everybody else passed?
yeah.
Yeah, so 1d4 anyway.
Sir,
What are we going to do?
There is blood everywhere in the room. There's blood on the bed. There's blood on the floor and the walls. Your mother is nowhere to be seen. And your father has been murdered, and his skin has been removed.
Oh, we got. There was downstairs. We heard a door. We gotta go after it. Mom, they could have taken Mom.
That's true. But we also have that stranger, and I look towards the room, the guest room.
The door's open.
Who do you think did this? Come on, we gotta go. We heard the front door. I'm gonna start heading down towards the stairs.
I look at Mark and go, we're heading down there, but I'm kind of taking a look in the room.
Yeah, I'm gonna peek in with you.
Brian, as you're going down the stairs, you realize that with diminishing amounts, there are blood stains on the carpet going down the stairs, and you're pretty sure they're in the shape of feet, more or less.
Okay,
But,
it's like bloody footprints.
Yeah, bloody bare footprints.
Okay.
But by the time they get to the bottom of the stairs, they're not there anymore. There's not enough that blood. You think this person, it might be your mom, because she would have stepped in the blood all over the floor, and by now there's just not enough blood to dribble anymore.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna run up to the front door and sort of open it and try to look out while I wait for the others and see if I can see anybody.
Okay.
Or anything.
The front door is to your right. You run there and you look, and the door is locked when you get to it.
Okay. I guess then in that case I'm gonna go towards the other door. The what would that be? The
back towards the screen porch.
Yes, the porch entry.
All right. As you get past the stairs, with the kitchen on your left-hand side and the family room on your right, you can see that there's something on the floor. There's some shiny bits on the floor in the kitchen. And when you look in there, you realize that a couple of the drawers have been pulled out, and the contents have been dumped onto the ground. Do a spot hidden for me.
Sure. I got a 39. That's a pass on 50.
You look. You're concerned. You're frightened. Some horrible thing has taken place in your hand. You think in terms of weapon, and you realize that the big butcher knife is missing.
Oh, okay. All right. Are there any other knives left?
There are some smaller utility knives, yes.
Yeah, I'll take a couple. You know, like if there's 3, I'll grab 3, and or I guess dang it, you can't put a knife in your pocket. I guess I'll just grab like 1 or 2, and just have one in each hand and try to like be like Matt, Mark.
Yeah, we're coming. So, is there anyone in the guest room?
No.
All right. We should check on Grandma.
Yeah.
All right. So we tromp down. Baseball. You look left. I look right.
Okay.
Okay. As you are heading, as you go to the door where your grandma is, just as you get to the door, you hear a strange noise coming from inside the room. Almost a kind of loud buzzing sound. You stop in your tracks because you don't know what the sound is. But you hear that, and along with what sounds like maybe your grandmother in distress. You'll hear the buzz, and you'll hear her go,
All right.
like that.
I will rush to the door and open it.
Okay.
Right behind you.
You throw open the door. You're all right. You're all together. And as you throw open the door, a man who looks like your father is standing there over your grandmother. He has something in his hands. You don't know what it is, but it's sparkling with light, like some sort of electronic device. There are cables coming out from it, and they're going to your grandmother's head. And there is some sort of device that's been attached to your grandmother's head. And he's fiddling with dials. And you can see that when he does, she shakes violently and calls out in pain. It looks like he's torturing her. And he seems to be intently staring at her as he's doing this. He doesn't really see that you've kicked open the door or opened up the door. What do you do?
I would like to run up and stab him. Yeah.
All right. So Brian, do an attack, a brawl.
Yep.
Yeah. And I'm coming with the baseball bat.
I got 27. It's a hard.
Okay.
I frozen. So I'm like frozen in the doorway.
Get off my grandma! Ah!
All right.
And I'm swinging with the baseball bat.
All right.
That's a brawl, you said?
Yeah.
Where is my brawl? Oh, there it is.
Unarmed combat.
Ooh, 07. Cool.
Okay.
Ooh, that is a extreme success. Wow.
All right.
I think, yeah.
Why don't you both
Max.
roll for damage? The knife would do 1d4 plus 2, plus your damage bonus if you have one. I don't know if you do.
I don't think I do. Roll double check.
Probably not. 'Cause
Oh,
you're-
actually, I do actually. Sorry, I am
Okay,
the big.
you've been-
I'm the big boy. So
That's right. You've been fighting at school.
yeah, well, I've got bullies. That's 3 and then 1, so it's 4. So plus 2, so 6. 6 damage.
All right. So this is what happens. You take your knife and you run up. Stay off my grandmother, and you jam the knife in. And it's very odd because though your knife just goes straight through the flesh, it hits something hard like cement, and the end of the knife snaps off in your hand. As you pull the knife down, it actually tears the skin open on this person's arm. And you can see that there's something shiny and black underneath the skin. Matt, you hit the thing good and hard, and it's like hitting a cement wall. The thing reacts a little bit, and when it does, it lets go of this thing that it's holding. It throws its hands up. It sort of screeches at you. It swings to make you back up a little bit, and then it runs to the window and it smashes through the window and jumps out. And your grandmother is lying there going, you can all do sanity rolls.
Yeah. Oh my. Oh man.
Yeah.
Lots
You
of
okay,
sanity
Grandpa?
rolls.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, I don't make it.
Yeah, 66.
Oh,
Neither do
gosh.
I.
No, fail also.
I got 93.
All right. But you also actually saved your grandmother. So I'm going to say just do a 1d2. Do a 4-sided or a 6-sided dice.
Yeah, and
All
then
right.
just
One.
half it, or yeah.
I lost Nar 2.
All right.
Lost one.
I rolled a 3, so that would be
43.
what, 1, 2?
Now all this stuff is still attached to your grandmother, and the
Yeah.
little thing is still glowing.
Yeah, I'm gonna start just like ripping. Like if I can like take them off. Like if it's not gonna, if I'll take one off, see if it hurts her.
Well, when you take them off, it's definitely leaving a mark. They go through
Okay.
the skin, so she bleeds a little, but she seems to be calming down now that you've
Okay.
pulled them out.
Yeah, I'll make sure that she's all disconnected. Like, Granny, are you all right? What was that thing trying to do? Was that wearing Dad's skin? Oh.
And she sort of motions that she's incredibly weak at this point. And you can see that there's drool, because she has no motor control. And she who's closest to her?
Probably me or Matt.
Okay,
Yeah.
Brian, you're right there. She reaches up with her arm, and she's putting it on you. She's like this, and she gets the back of your head, grabs a hold of your hair, and she pulls you down. Rather, not with any great strength, but she's pulling you down, kind of into her lap, and then she's rubbing her hand over the back of your neck. And then once she's done that, she lets you go and sort of points at whoever's closest next. Heather.
All right. Matt.
Yeah.
So I will go next to her.
All right. She does the same thing. She becomes very upset if you don't want her to do this, but she does it to each and every one of you. And then she looks very much more calm afterwards. And with her hand, she points over to her bookcase.
All right.
I'll run over.
Go over.
Yeah.
All right. And as you're there, she's like, doing this, sort of directing you to which one. And then when you get there, she's like, you think
Right.
she's saying, bring the books out. What
Okay.
you realize is that there's a box behind the books.
What's this, Granny?
And it's about the size of a shoebox. And she's like this. She's bring it up
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this. She has you open up the box, and inside are 3 things. There's a journal and 2 incredibly bizarre looking objects. One of them looks like this.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Wow.
It's about the
What?
size of a handgun. Okay. The other one looks like this. And it's about the size of your fist.
Granny, what are these things?
And then she points at the journal. So she's pointing at the journal. And you open it up and you realize that it's in her handwriting. It's stuff that she's written. It's a journal of her exploits, but the date on it is the 1920s from way back. And she keeps having you turn pages. And then at a certain point, she, points at the book and
What's it say?
wants you to read the page. So somebody want to read that?
Sure.
Brian?
Sure. Can you guys still hear me? Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't show me lighting up. It was sorry. It was in the spring of 1918 that was the worst of it occurred. We knew we were getting close to the nest. My friend Kenneth had been replaced by one of the things, and we wanted revenge. It was late afternoon when we found them all huddled together in the basement of the Miskatonic Science Building. They were constructing some sort of machine. All they needed was the artifact. 2 of them were torturing Kenneth's brain for information when we burst into the room and started firing with the organic lightning gun. The first volley managed to blast the head off one, if you can call it a head. The others turned to attack, but we had them trapped. Michael lobbed a Molotov at the group and everything burst into flames. We closed the steel doors and listened to their buzzing screams for 5 minutes before getting the hell out of there and alerting the school to the fire. In the end, everything got covered up and no one suspected us at all. We made a mutual pact that we should hide and keep the artifact a secret. If the creatures ever got it again, it would be the end of us all.
And she gives sort of a calm sigh and then points to the gun and the artifact.
Granny, what did you get into? What is
Oh,
this?
Granny.
And
Just
then
like the comic books.
she points at the window.
What is this, Blade Runner?
I look out the window.
Well, the window that smashed, that the thing went out.
Yeah. I think she's telling us that we need to go after it.
I picked up the gun.
Is that what you're saying, Granny?
And she points at the gun.
Does anybody know how to shoot?
Wow.
I don't think so.
Let me take a
They
look.
let me shoot a little bit, but
Yeah, I got some with rifle, just the base for rifle and handgun, but that's about it.
Yeah. Just if he's like, anybody ever go hunting with Dad or something? Ah, crap. All right. I mean, I think I should, have the knife still, and somebody should have a bat, and somebody should take this thing. Be careful.
And
I'll grab the pistol.
She points at that page in the thing at the words lightning gun.
Right, Grandma. This is the lightning gun. We should use the lightning gun on the thing.
And she sort of gives
What's
you
the
a
lightning
yes.
gun?
Okay. All right. Okay. All right, guys. All right. So. All right. Who doesn't have a weapon yet? Somebody take the lightning gun. We've got a couple knives. Matt's got his bat. That's very good. So I guess we gotta go after this thing and try to find Mom.
I picked the gun out of the box already.
Okay. Heather, do a power roll.
All right. 8.
8. You pick up the gun, and it's squishy. The gun is squishy. And when you hold it, to where the grip seems like it would be, and the trigger, you suddenly realize that it is molding itself to your hand as you're holding it, but somehow you begin to understand how it works.
Okay.
There is no trigger, but you can fire it by simply pointing at what you want to hit and thinking that you want it to fire. You also know that it does a lot of damage.
All right.
And in fact, what you get from it is that it does 1d10 points of damage per charge, and that you can fire up to 5 charges at once.
Ooh.
But it also has to recharge afterwards, and the more you spend, the more it needs to recharge, and it gets hot. I mean, you think that if you went past five charges at once, it would actually probably explode.
Oh, wow.
But you don't know how you know this. The information has been put into your mind. It's not even articulated. It's just somehow you know it by holding the gun. And you also think that it's attaching itself to your body, to your nerves, which is kind of frightening.
Yeah.
Except it's frightening. It's more frightening for them seeing it happen than it is for you.
Sanity or no? We're good.
No.
All right. Okay. Just making
You
sure.
could either do a sanity roll, and you only lose 1 if you fail. Otherwise,
All right. I'm good. Like this thing is fusing to her arm, but it's gonna help us. So.
I got 100 in my
78.
All right.
Mark,
I'm
you
gonna-
got 100. Yeah, so you're gonna take 1 off.
Yeah.
Automatically.
Granny,
Good
should
place to
we?
use the 100.
Granny, should we take the cube too?
She opens up her eyes and she points at that book. You know, like
Yeah, that's the artifact.
you get the distinct impression
Oh.
that thing can't get a hold of the artifact.
Okay, so well, shit. All right, so we need to. We're gonna go after this thing. Do we want to bring the artifact with us to make sure it doesn't come back around and get it, or do we want to hide it somewhere?
Well, she points at the box and she points back at the bookcase, maybe.
Okay, yeah, maybe we'll leave
Yeah.
it with her because it did, and hope,
Yeah.
and we'll go try to kill it or find it or something.
However, I'm gonna, Granny, do you want me to take care of this thing as I look at the little egg thing it dropped that was connected to her head? And I
She
go
gives you
with
a
baseball.
yes. Yeah.
And I start.
It
Great.
proves to be rather difficult to damage, but you do it. You crack it, and the little lights all turn off.
Dang, that was a tough egg.
What is this thing made of? If they're trying to poke it.
It almost looks like it's made out of glass, except that it was really, really super tough.
So I guess at this point I'll sort of take one of the little knives and hand it to Mark and be like, here, take this. And then
Hey,
so
thanks.
Mark and I have knives, and Matt's got his bat, and Heather's got the crazy device. All right, I guess we got to try to follow after this thing.
Yeah.
One of you should stay with Granny just in case it comes back.
I don't know. I mean, as long as we can try to stay on its tail. I like us all to be together. What do you guys think?
All right.
Mark, Matt?
You know what happens in horror movies?
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. That's what I'm saying.
It's when they all separate that they get them. We've seen it 100 times in the comic books. In the Tales of the Creeper.
So we'll stick together then.
All
Stay
right.
safe.
So where are you going to go?
I guess we're gonna try to see if we can follow, go out the side that the window faces and see if we can see any tracks or.
How much
Follow it.
glass is broken out?
Pretty much the whole thing. He jumped through it. Now, what happened was he jumped through that window, and that window leads out onto the entry porch.
Okay.
So he must have gone out that. It's going out right next. Her room
I
is right
see,
next
I
to
see.
the front door. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're essentially gonna ring out in the front yard and trying to see if we can find where he went or where
Right.
it went or him or it or whatever.
Now, it doesn't show in the picture in the map, but there is shrubbery all around your house. The twins have hidden there more than once. You've probably got your own little hidey hole areas out there. Anyway, so you're going to go out. Are you going to go out the window? Or you're going to go out the front door?
In the
All right.
door.
You go out the front door, and you definitely can see little spatters of blood from whatever it was. And you can see that it didn't bother to go to the stairs leading off the porch. It just jumped off the porch. And you're not sure whether it went left or right or headed towards the barn or the silo. It could have headed to either one of them. Or it could be just hanging around outside. I don't know.
Hmm.
Do we hear any movement or buzzing or something like that?
You don't. It's quiet, and other than cricket noises and things like that.
I try maybe a natural world to see if there's any disturbances in the shrubbery or the bushes or the trees.
Sure.
I'm going to try to use what little tracking I have because it looks like I have some tracking.
I got a 48, so I think that's gonna be a fail. But yeah, that's I need a 35, so I got a fail.
Yeah, I've missed also well.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
dark.
I'm gonna look
It's dark
too.
out here. You can't really see very well.
46. That's not good. That's a fail.
Say we're not allowed to spend luck, right? We're not doing that. Yeah.
You can spin luck.
Okay, I might. What would that be? 46 to 35. Yeah, I'll do 11. I'll spend 11 luck.
Okay. And that was for the natural world?
Yeah, so to make the natural roll to pass.
You
39.
think to your left, over by the garage, that you think you might have seen the bushes move.
Okay. Like, guys, you think the bushes moved over here? Let's check it out. And I'll even go first. Try to be the brave big brother.
Okay. Do a luck roll.
Okay. Oh man, that's not good. It's now 39. Oh, I got a 20.
Okay. You start to move towards the bushes, and you definitely think there's somebody between the bushes and the house hiding back there. So you don't you don't know exactly where this person is.
I'll sort of point and be like, there's somebody back in this general area. And I'll try to start, I'll just start like trying to search through to see, maybe where this person is.
Okay. You start to move. Hedges are never perfect.
Right.
You see some places where there's gaps. All of a sudden, coming out from between two of the bushes, through one of the gaps, is your mother, and she screams violently. She has the butcher knife in her hand, and she comes running at you, Brian, with the butcher knife and slashes at you.
Oh man!
So, do an attack
Dodge?
roll or a dodge roll.
Damn it! Because this is my mom. I'm gonna make a dodge.
Nicholas, go ahead.
Oh,
Nicholas?
I got a 95.
Okay. As you jump, you're so surprised. You're surprised that it's your mother, and as she comes forward with the butcher knife, she hits you right in the shoulder with it, and she's like, "Murderer! Murderer!" She's screaming at you. She does only 2 points of damage. Okay.
All right. Yeah, I'm all right.
Once she does that, she screams and she turns around and she runs off, almost before any of you can react. It's like she doesn't recognize you. She's completely crazed and out of her mind. And you see that she's hit Brian with. What do you guys do?
I think I'm gonna yell after her, or I'm scared to run after her.
She's running out towards the fields of wheat.
I'm gonna check. I'm gonna take a look at Brian. Is the knife still stuck in him, or did she drop the knife, or what?
Well, it wasn't in far enough to where it would stick. Didn't hit the bone, so it's fallen out, but he's bleeding.
All right. Do I have any first aid?
We gotta go after her, or try to find that other thing.
Hold it here. I'm gonna use my Boy Scout skills.
And you can hear her running out there into the field screaming.
46, which is a pass. So I've been able to
Give me the one. Yeah. All right. That's good.
because I have a 55 in first.
That was
aid.
half the damage. So yeah. So I'm like, oh, all right, thank you. Yeah. So at least it's not bleeding anymore. I'm like, we gotta go after her, or try to find that thing. That thing ran off a different way, I guess.
Yeah, there's a bigger knife there.
Yeah, you got a bigger knife now.
Oh, okay, sure, yeah.
Yeah, because the one. Yeah.
All right.
Were you able to get her, Mark?
I think she ran towards the wheat field or something.
Yeah, she's too far ahead of you, but you've got a full moon, so it's actually lit up pretty well out here by this time. You can see her running in the field, and it looks like she's just running as far away and as in the opposite direction of the farm.
We gotta look for that thing.
I agree with you. And she ain't gonna stop till she gets to the Wilkinson's farm.
I guess the Wilkinsons are have to deal with it. Wait a minute. You don't think
What?
that thing was wearing our dad's skin?
It could be, but
I mean, it's crazy.
4 of you
Could
do
be,
a
right.
spot hidden roll. All 4 of you.
25. That's a hard pass.
18.
90 something earlier.
regular
That's a
pass.
regular.
All right. Those of you who passed, you think you see some movement over by the barn.
Something
the
over
barn.
there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's
no,
go.
the barn. All right,
Let's go.
I got the gun pointed
Yeah.
up. I'm going over there.
Yeah, I've got the bigger knife. I'm ready to go.
Just stay out in front of this thing. I don't know what
Yeah.
it's going to do to you.
All right.
Yeah.
I got-
I take one side, Mark takes the other side, the back corner, so it's sort of like I guess
Yeah.
more like that.
Okay. As you approach the barn, you can hear noise inside, almost like pieces of board or wood are being torn off the inside of the barn. Something's making a racket in there, and you don't know exactly where it is. And as you approach, it's pitch black inside the barn. What do you want to do?
Do we have any lights? I guess we don't.
No, you've all run out here without any lights. You've got the moonlight, but the moonlight's not in the barn. You probably have flashlights and stuff back at the house.
What do you guys think? Should we go back and get flashlights or...
I can run back if you want.
Yeah, go back. I'll
As
keep
you
an
were
eye
all
out.
as you were all standing there, out of the corner of your eye, you see a flash of light, and as you turn your head, you can see headlights coming down the road to the farm. Looks like a pickup truck.
Rick.
Oh, come on. Not right now. Ugh. Screw that guy, okay? We've got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, it killed Dad and attacked
As-
Grandma.
As the truck is coming past the silo, you can sort of see into it. You can see Rick's in there, but Rick is slowing the truck way down, and he's looking out the opposite window at your mother running across the field, and he's parking the car. Then he looks over at you, and he gets out of the truck. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Do you have a flashlight?
A flashlight?
Yeah.
The hell are you all doing out here this time of night?
Dad's dead. Something
Is
killed
that
Dad.
your
Something
mother?
killed Dad.
Yeah, something killed our dad.
Stand here in the barn. He can hear the noise in the barn, can he?
Well, no, he's actually maybe 50 feet from you,
Oh,
walking
okay.
towards you. He stopped the truck.
It's
Why don't
in
you
the
all do that?
barn.
Why don't you all do a spot hidden again?
All right.
Not this time. 55.
48. I
Let's see where's
failed.
my spot hidden.
Mine is an extreme.
Yeah, I have a regular success.
Mark, you've got an extreme. That's good. Mark, as all this is going on, you keep looking over at the barn, and you suddenly realize that the damage that was being done to the barn is up in the roof. You can see the moonlight sort of suddenly streaming through, and you realize that whatever it is, has climbed up onto the roof of the barn. And as you step back, you see what vaguely looks like your father climbing up onto the roof of the barn. You can't see any details, but you're seeing sort of the silhouette.
Heather! Hit it!
He's up there.
Oh, you guys don't see it yet. Mark sees it.
Oh, sorry.
Guy, he's up there. He's up there. Like pointing at the guy.
I shoot. I'm pissed off. I'm scared. He killed my dad. I'm going to shoot his skin-stealing ass.
You're going to try and shoot it. You're quite a ways away, but go ahead. Do a firearms roll.
38, and
Luck? Luck?
that is 20. Oh, so it's a failure.
All right.
I'm 18 off.
You think really hard. You're pointing it in that direction. You think really hard, and suddenly, almost deafening, there is a clap of thunder as a blinding white bolt of lightning shoots out of the end of your hand and hits the side of the barn. And where it hits, it immediately bursts into flame. She didn't come anywhere near the thing when you did it. And you feel suddenly fatigued on the inside. All of you have slammed your hands over your ears, and you're kind of stunned from the impact of the thunder. As you're kind of blinded a little bit, but as you look up, this thing, it suddenly seems to be removing the costume of your father, tearing it off in bits. And you notice that there are far more arms, if you will, than what your father had. And they're not human looking. What's emerging from your father looks like a huge crab-like insectoid thing. You can see ripples of color like light, and you suddenly see wings unfurl, and the thing leaps off of the roof and goes sailing through the air, and you've still got a blind spot where you're looking, but it heads straight towards Rick. What do you do? Rick happens to be standing in the headlights.
How far away is it as it's flying away, flying towards him?
It's still a ways away. I'd say probably 75 to 100 feet from him.
Okay. So try throwing the smaller knife. That's way too far.
Yeah, that's way too far.
Way too far.
I'm going to try to shoot it again.
All right.
It's going to throw Rick.
Hey, it's going towards your boyfriend, Rick.
Yes, 20.
What do you need?
All right.
I think you need.
I fired.
What do you need to hit, Heather?
20.
20 out of 20? Or?
Oh, so you got 20?
Yep.
All right.
Finally.
You fire, and this time the concussion almost knocks you off your feet. All of you back up, but you suddenly see the thing. It looks like one of its wings has partly burst into flame, and you see the thing fluttering down towards Rick. Rick is standing there going, "What the fuck?" like this, just as the thing slams into the ground right in front of Rick. Let me roll Rick some luck. Ooh. It partly lands on Rick and knocks him flat.
Bye-bye, Rick.
And as it does this, it doesn't like collapse. It immediately starts to pull itself up onto its whatever they are, legs. It looks like a gigantic crab spider winged monster thing. It's all black and shiny in the moonlight, and it immediately begins to plow through the wheat towards you. Or well, it's not in the wheat. It starts to immediately move towards you. Heather, you're not sure you can fire again because you're completely exhausted, but you might be able to manage it.
I'm going to try.
And it's getting closer.
If it's coming toward us, yeah, I might just panic fire at this point.
Right.
And an 88 will not do it.
Do you want to spend any luck?
Oh, boy, I don't have that much luck.
You don't have that much luck. All right.
Yeah, I rolled an 88, and my shooting is only 20.
You fire, and you hit the ground in front of the thing, and it sort of dodges to the side. But it's now almost got a rolling gallop, and it'll be to you in another round. What do you guys want to do?
I'm just gonna hold up the knife and like
It doesn't seem
shaking
to
and
have
wait for
it doesn't seem to have a weapon of any kind, except that it's got these big claws.
No one bothers my sister but me and my brother.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Only we're allowed to pick on her, not you.
Right. So you're gonna attack with your little knives, your little
I got
knives.
Yeah, I
my
guess we're gonna
baseball
charge
bat.
at it. Yeah.
All right.
I'll be like, Mark, if I die, check my pockets, and then I'm gonna charge at it with my knife.
All right. Go ahead and do a brawl roll. Hand to hand.
Can I? It's a 75. I'll spend the 5.
Okay.
That's allowed to make it a pass.
It failed any kind of dodge.
All right, cool. So then I hit. So I'll spend the luck and hit.
Yeah.
It's a D4 and 2, right? You said for the knife. D4 plus 2 plus damage
D4 plus 2 plus your
Yeah.
damage bonus.
Ooh, 4 and then 3. Nice. So that's 4 and 3, so 9 damage.
All right, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
You jam that butcher knife, and now you realize what the problem was. It's got kind of a carapace like a crab.
Right.
This time you hit it, and you actually stick it into the carapace, a good 3 inches into the carapace. But now it's stuck there.
Shit.
Matt, what did you were going to try to stick it also?
Yeah, I had hit with my baseball bat. I hit with a hard success.
Okay. Blunt trauma does half damage. So, what's your baseball
What I
bat
had.
do? Clubs, 1d8 plus your damage bonus. So it'll be like 1d4 plus your damage bonus. Or
All right.
We'll cut.
All
We'll
right.
just 1d8 plus, then cut it in half.
Yeah. Well, I don't get damage bonus, so I got 3 points of damage. I halved it.
Okay. So you only actually do 2 points of damage
All right.
when you hit it, or did you already half it?
I already halved it. So
Oh, you already halved it. Okay, so you do 3 points of damage. Mark, what do you do?
I tried to charge at it and I had a failure by starting and I didn't try
Okay.
completely with a knife.
All right. So you've managed to stick a knife into it. You've hit it with your baseball bat. Heather is staggered back because she's fatigued from it. She thinks she might be able to fire again, except that now you're all in front of her beating on this thing. The creature is going to swing around and try and at least throw Brian off. What do you want to do, Brian? Do you want to attack again, or do you want to dodge?
I will try to dodge, hoping that she'll be able to get it shut off. So, oh no, that's an 80, so I fail.
Okay. The thing, as you've jammed the knife in, the thing wheels around and hits you with its claw and flings you off. So you basically get falling damage, just like 1d3 or 1d4.
You want me to roll it, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
You've been flung
3.
maybe 10 feet onto the ground.
3.
Okay.
Oof. So I'm at 11.
Matt, what are you gonna do? You've hit it with your baseball bat. Oh wait, I'm sorry. It's its turn. It's going to swing one of its claws at you.
all right. Well, I'm going to attempt to dodge.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. What is my dodge, by the way? Not that great. No, I didn't dodge.
Okay, it didn't hit either. So it swung at you and almost took your head off, but you managed not to get hit. Mark, what are you gonna do?
I see him swinging his claws and I panic, try and stab him, then like run away after whether I hit him or not.
Okay, let's go ahead and roll.
No, that's 72, so that's a complete failure.
All right, you just can't get close enough to him because he's got all these lobster arms swinging around. Heather, what do you want to do? You think you're recharged now, but all your brothers are pretty close.
I got flung off, but
Um,
the other two are, yeah.
How far away is this thing?
It's now right in front of you, literally
Oh,
10 feet.
okay.
But so is Mark and Matt. Mark is kind of moving away, but Matt is trying very hard to keep hitting it with a baseball bat. Brian's been thrown off.
Well, if I can, I'm going to try to grab Matt by the collar and pull him back in one motion, and it's like put it like point blank on the thing and fire.
Okay.
Since it's like right there.
Since I'll give you the point blank. Do a grapple roll to see if you grab a hold of Matt and pull him away. That's jump brawl.
70. I failed.
You fail. All right. So you grasp towards Matt, but you can't get a hold of him. He's swinging away, like in that horrible spine. Do you want to yell at Matt?
Oh yeah, I'm like, move!
Matt, do you want to move?
Well, let me see if I actually remember she has the gun. Oh, yeah, I remember. I go, and I leap out of the way.
All right. Heather, go ahead and roll to hit. I just want to know if you get a critical failure. Otherwise, you're going to hit it.
68.
Okay. You discharge the thing. This time you're so upset and angry and that you let 5 charges go at once. So you could roll 5 d10s.
Oh, wow.
This could be ugly.
Okay. First one, 4. Ooh, second one, 0.
That's 10.
That's 10.
10, okay. 8. 10.
Ooh.
10.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, you point the thing at it just as this thing sort of rears back. You notice how very strange and crab-like it is, and there seems to be this structure right in the front, if you could call it a head, sort of brain-like, and that there's little colored lights that flash and sparkle through its head, and your gun goes off, and for a few minutes you guys all have tinnitus. You're all completely deaf. The blast is blinding, and you fly back at least a couple of feet and land on the ground, and the thing is suddenly twitching, and it's smoldering, and there's flames coming out from the cracks around it, and there's a big burn mark in the middle of it, and it just bursts into flame, and it crashes to the ground, partly falls apart, and the whole damn thing is dead, and your barn is on fire.
Oh no, the barn!
Oh,
It's gonna
shit.
kill me.
And Rick, let's see how Rick did. Rick's got a broken leg,
Uh-oh.
but he's like, "What the fuck? What the fuck was that?"
Shut up, Rick! Shut up, Rick! Nice shooting, Heather. What do we do? Oh man, what is this thing?
At some point, your mother is recovered. She's found cowering in somebody's barn across over there.
Yeah.
And you all feel like you have had an incredible adventure, absolutely terrifying and absolutely horrible, but the kind of stuff that your grandmother used to tell you.
That's
Yeah.
great.
And that's the end of the story.
If we can, I'd like to
Cool.
pull Matt and Mark aside towards the end and make sure that we're out of earshot of Heather. Be like, all right, guys, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret, okay?
Tell your secrets.
That friend of hers, Rick or whatever, I don't know what the two of them are up to, but when they went out and made out the other night, I went into his truck, found $500. Okay, I spent some of it already, but I still got some of that. The 3 of us can split it, okay? We're gonna need it after all that happened, but I think we deserve it.
Heather is
But
so pissed.
don't tell Heather. Don't tell Heather anything. Shh. That's it. Yeah.
Well, Matt and Mark, what's your
Here's your cut.
secret?
What's our secret?
Yeah.
Our secret is we've been sending letters to an ex-con with the first name of Heather and
No.
someone else's name. It's love letters, spicy
First name
love.
is Chuck. Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
Chuck. And his first name was
Oh,
Chuck.
God.
And we were sending spicy love letters from Heather to this.
Oh my! You prankster. You pranksters.
And then Heather, I think you guys know her
Yeah.
secret.
Yeah.
She had a bunch of meth hidden in the.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you, I know nothing about drugs, so it took me forever to figure out how much meth. I finally just said she has $500 worth of meth.
That works. Yeah.
I
Whatever.
don't know whether that's
Whatever.
this much or this much.
Yeah.
or what.
It's
All right.
probably burned up by now.
So-
But, yeah.
Here's kind of the background. Granny was an adventurer,
Yeah.
and back in the
An investigator.
Oh yeah, she was an investigator,
Yeah.
probably belonging to the Arcane Society or something like that.
Yeah. Like Miskatonic. Yeah.
And they found that there was a Migo incursion that was
Okay.
trying to do something nefarious at the Miskatonic University, and her buddies managed to stop it. She eventually married one of them, and that was years ago, and he
Wow.
finally died, and she had the artifacts. Now, what the artifacts are, obviously the lightning gun and the artifact, somehow the artifact was part of this machine they were building, and she managed to keep it hidden. Well, the Migo don't usually give up, so eventually they tracked her down, and it took her only a few minutes to realize it at the dinner table that you guys were in big danger, because she kind of was like, uh-oh, we got a stranger here and he's not talking. And she had no way of checking, but you would find something on the back of the neck that would indicate that this was not the real person, you know, that they were somehow sort of Migo implant. And then the rest of it, the Migo took your father's skin. Your mother went completely banana shit insane when she was upstairs
Rightly
and this
so.
happened. And she didn't mean to attack you. She just was attacking anyone. She thought you were all taken over by now by this
Right.
horrible thing. And that's it. I mean, the thing was torturing your grandmother because it wanted to know where the artifact
Right.
was.
Mm-hmm.
That was great. Yeah.
That's the end
That
of
was
the
awesome.
story.
I love it. I love it. The only two games I've played on here so far have both involved Migo. Like that's the start of this. Yeah, but yeah, that was great. I loved it. It was fantastic. Well done. That was great.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me go ahead and finish it up. Our players included Nimrod Slor-Futterman, Mike Kyle, John Dos Passos, and Oren Mayer, with yours truly as the keeper of the secrets. We're currently producing up to 4 shows a week with music and sound effects added in post-production in order to create a richer listener experience. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. The costs of all of the show are provided almost entirely by our patrons. Without them, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. If you'd like to become a patron, please visit our Patreon account. Just $1 to a month helps us a lot. You can find a link in the description below. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answering any questions you might have. This is Tom Rayleigh, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.